Morning, everyone. Faster and faster. Getting everything all set up here. Morning, everyone. Hello, hello. How you doing, Carl? Carlos, sorry. I only read the first half of it. Let me get the Discord one set up as well. What's going on, Bob? How you doing? What's up, Mohammed? How you doing? NQ set up to go lower. We'll get into that here in a minute. Pull up edgeful's data too. I don't think we have anything significant for market data today. I think it's just jobless claims per usual. I don't think we have anything at 10 though. Let's take a look. Oh, we do. We have no, that's tomorrow. Never mind. We just had jobless claims at 8:30. That was it this morning, and that gave us a little bump up. You're guessing higher. We'll cover that. We'll get into it. How you doing, Eddie? Let's see if the IB shows up for us today. We can't really be too upset with it yesterday, Bob, because it did work perfectly on both Qs and SPY, but it was just unfortunate that they were countering each other. Perfectly inversed. SPY's move. SPY was ridiculous yesterday, so we'll take a look at that stat too. That this outcome is technically a triple break, even though it only measures up to a double break. But we broke the low into the high, back into the low, and it ended up hitting half a standard deviation lower as well, right into close. Almost hit one. But that was a pretty nasty move yesterday on SPY. SPY was awful, which is funny because SPY for the first 2-3 days this week it was beautiful. It's pretty gross. All right, so the first thing we're going to take a look at, gap fill by size. We have a 0.1% gap down right now, so same thing that we looked at yesterday. This should fill. We have a for SPY as well. So this is 0.08. This has a 85% chance of filling on SPY. And for Qs, this has a 73% chance of filling. So we should be targeting right into open. It should automatically be targeting up to that gap fill. It's only up to 624. It's not very much. So we either put in a wick right there and continue higher, or we put in a wick down, fill the gap, and continue higher. Sorry, we either put a wick in and continue lower, or we put a wick down in and continue higher. But either way, we should go up to 624 right to open. Previous day's 50 drawn in for 621.42 up to 628. And then our London 50 low was made at 6:30, high was made just now at 8:30. That's our London 50. Really tiny London 50 range today. This is one of the smaller ones we've had this week. So looking for this to probably, at the very least, we should go up to 624 right at open, right off the bat. I always get scared opening up Trade of 8 because I feel like I left an order in or a stop order in, and I don't want to get dinged out of my position or get screwed over on the accounts. It's always scary looking at it. I'm almost positive I exited everything last night, which I did. Very good. It's a scary, scary thing. And go over to MNQ, 15-minute, go down to 1. And then let me open up my YouTube. Thank you, Tony. See if we can't catch a nice trade on the IB today. Okay, that's all set. Morning, Mike. How you doing? How about SPY's move? SPY's implied move for today. SPY's pretty much the same as Q's. Gap fill. We don't have an inside bar. Q's does have an inside bar. So Q's would be targeting. So using both of those stats, take a look at the inside bar for Q's. 73% chance. I don't think we're going to get all the way up to 628. We did get the 627 target I was looking for yesterday. Got a little more than that even. I don't think we'll get up to there today. I think we'll probably put in a wick, sweep over 624, and then we'll go down and take out previous day's low. So hopefully today ends up being a short for the IB. So we can line that up with the inside bar if it doesn't already take the inside bar stat before the IB even breaks. But that's what we'll be looking for. And then for psych levels, we just have 25.8, which is right above us. We actually already had a rejection there pre-market. 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them. 4 rejections off 25.8 pre-market. I don't know, it's pretty tricky. We're in a tight spot right now. We have all this resistance from Tuesday's close, yesterday's open, yesterday's close, right at 624. So I still think we look a little bearish with us being below that resistance. We'll get it. I want to see a sweep and then a push down. I want to see a sweep over 624 and then a push down. So we get the gap fill stat on both SPY and Qs. And then we have a continuation lower. Take out that inside bar stat. For SPY's move yesterday, just looking at how rare of an occurrence this was for the initial balance breakouts. So not only we did validate the buy rejection stat. We made the high first, made the low second, took out the low, broke the high. So that alone, that double break is a 1 in 4 chance of happening. And then the fact that it came all the way back down, broke the low again, and actually continued to half a standard deviation. With all those stats adding up yesterday, it should be like a 1 in 80 or 1 in 100. Very rare day yesterday on SPY. Triple break. Pretty nasty. Not really much else to look at. We haven't had an exciting gap up or down all week. Scratch that. Monday we had a pretty good one, but Monday also sent us into 50% of Friday's range, so we didn't really have that much of an implied move for Monday's open. We opened pretty much right at 50% and then had a little mediocre pop. But all week we've had like a 70-point range on the IB from the midpoint. Yesterday was a 55-point range. Tuesday was 80 and Monday was 75. I do miss the ones where they used to be like 120 points, maybe a little bit more, which kind of stinks. Hey, Ali, how you doing? I'm new to edgeful, so trying to get my head around how best to use it. You came to the right place. Came to the right place. I think the best way to use it is not overcomplicate how many reports you're going to take a look at. So I only have these 5 bookmarked. They have, I want to say 38 reports. Could be off. I'll count them right now, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 22, 23, 24, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. 46 reports. I was off by 8. What's going on, Semper Fi? 46 reports. And I only use really 3 of them. Because those are the ones that I found work the best for me and the way that I trade. I believe Andre likes using he uses all of them, but he likes using the orb and the opening candle continuation. Same thing as trading in general. The more nonsense, not saying any of these reports are nonsense, the more stuff you have going on in your chart, the more confused you're going to be with the trades that you take. So each one of these reports is valuable, but it's just fitting it into how you trade as opposed to going and using every single one of them, trying to figure it out that way. What's going on, Full Diamond? Patrick Waldive, how you doing? Terrence, I already said hi to Patrick. You don't get to. Sam, how you doing? I think YM yesterday. I'll pull it up on. No, I can't pull it up on there. What's the ticker for it? MYM. There we go. So this had an almost perfect retracement to 50% yesterday, and then went and broke the IB low. This is an ideal setup for it. I've never traded YM for it, but this is exactly what we'd look for. Learned that a lot in the past year. Need to cut some of the noise in my head. Yep. So I barely have anything on my chart. This was a 400-point range. I don't know what the points or ticks are on YM. I'm assuming it's probably like $1 a tick. That would make sense. Or $1 a point. So like a $200 move from the IB 50 down. Good representation right there. And then I didn't look at, I think IWM ended up getting a little, oh, that one actually never broke. What's the odds on that? Let's see. IWM for IB by rejection or IB in general, that was only a 5% chance. 5% chance that IWM stayed within that range, and it did. But yesterday was a pretty nasty day all around. I'm decently happy that we didn't trade it because it would have been, it would have been a win hindsight, but it would have been a lot of luck associated with it. The SPY was not playing nicely. It's kind of funny. A lot of people just hop in around the 10:30, 11 o'clock time. What's going on, Simon? How many strategies did I try before the IB 50? What made you stick with the IB 50? Well, I still use the London 50. The strategy that I started with was in March of last year, February of last year for futures. It's the London 50. We haven't really had a good reaction for weeks now on it, so I've just been sticking with the IB 50 because it's been working. London 50, what it usually does is you have a continuation pre-market, and then you're looking for an entry off 50% of that London range or just pre-market range. So whatever the pre-market low and high is, you mark that out, mark 50% out. We haven't had a good reaction at it where we could take an entry. We might have had one last. Yeah, this one was okay. Continuation up. I want to take it on continuations. I don't like taking it on reversals. So in this case, this candle reversed pretty much the entire pre-market move. This was a half day too. That's or what I thought was a half day. That's why I wasn't trading as well, of course. But we ended up reversing. This is the pivot that I'm looking for right here, where it goes and hits London 50 and then continues to London low. So I still use that. We just haven't had an entry on it. And you can see for the past, I don't even know. I'd say probably back to December 19th was the last day that we had a good delivery of price, a decent delivery price. We haven't, and even then we didn't get a reaction at London 50. That one opened and just went straight up. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I traded London 50. But anyway, the IB 50, that's how I came across it, looking at the IB and then adding in the midpoint. Because even I still trade previous days 52. But again, we haven't had a reaction at previous days 50. We've had a lot of reactions at previous day high, London high. But we haven't had any at the 50% retracement. I guess we kind of had one on Monday. This would have been a decent entry. I think we had data at 9:45 on Monday. That's why I didn't take it there. 0.5 a tick, thank you. So it would have been a $100 move down on the micro. That's not too bad. But price typically likes to gravitate towards 50% of whatever range you're looking at, whether it's previous days 50, London 50. Like right now, we're down pre-market. The trend is down. We're down 0.16%, but we're over London 50. So I would want to see it. Preferably, we would be up pre-market. I'd want to see it go and retest London 50 and then go up. But for data, what's telling us is that we should have a gap fill. We have a 78% chance on Qs, 85% chance on SPY. As long as it stays over 0.19%. If it goes to 0.2, then it changes quite a bit. It goes to 50-50 for the gap fill. But we should get a wick up to about 624 on Qs, and then I'm expecting down for today. So London 50, again, not going to be able to be used today. Unless we get like a really slow wick up. First 15-minute candle closes under, and then it does something like that, and then goes back down. That would be ideal. I don't think we're going to get that. Which gap? 4 p.m. close yesterday to 9:30 open. Yes, Abe. Yes, that's the gap we're looking at for today. So that gap is right here on the 345 close for the 15-minute candle, which is the 4 o'clock close. That candle closed at 624.01. That's where I have that white line drawn. If we dip any more than where we are right now, we have 5 minutes to open. This changes the gap fill stat quite a bit. The gap fill goes from 73% to, I was looking at the wrong one, 78%. So I guess even if we do push a little bit lower, it's a really high chance that we push back up 624.01. So we should take that wick out, or take that with a wick right into open. I don't think it's going to be able to be traded. Sorry, Zinc, I'm sure you said it 100 times before, but your previous day's 50 is including pre-market and New York session, or just it's including pre-market as well. So the previous day's 50 is 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. EST. Whatever time the high and low is made within that time frame, as long as it's within 4 a.m. and 8 p.m. It's pretty. If you go to the 24-hour chart, even if you go to the 15 with extended hours on, it's pretty easy to see. But you can also go to the 24-hour, and it will mark out the wick high and wick low for the entire time frame for you. And then you just connect the wicks. Rather poor price action on both SPY and Qs at the moment, but at least they're moving in sync. Yeah, hopefully they stay that way into open. I don't want to have another repeat of yesterday. Yesterday, terrible. Ideally, we did take a long on Qs and just went to sleep and woke up at 12:30 and closed it and went back to sleep. Perfect delivery on price on Tuesday for both of them. Monday was also disgusting. Monday, we took out that IB with no retracement. It just closed right at, well, it had a little retracement. No, scratch that. Monday, it closed right at 619.90 and then took out the high with a wick in the first minute or so. Regular trading hour gap, yes, Abe. Yes, correct. We got 2 minutes to open. We don't have any data today. Scratch that at 3 p.m. I hope no one's going to be trading at 3 p.m. We have consumer credit and then nothing else. So should be another pretty choppy day. What's going on, KRAD? So not going to be able to trade it. I'm going to be anticipating a move up to 624. That should validate our thesis for today. We could go all the way up to 628. The reason I don't think we will is because we're like 75% of the way to the downside gap, yesterday's low, which is what that inside bar is telling us. We only have a 1 in 4 chance of staying within today's range, previous day's range, which I guess we could because it was a decently large range, $6, but we're only $1.20 away from the downside. So I think we should go and take that out. SPY is not within previous day's range, so this one doesn't have the same draw. It's the same thing as yesterday as well. SPY wasn't within previous day's range, and then Qs ended up dragging it up towards previous day's high. So this one should inverse what we did yesterday. SPY is not within previous day's range. Qs is. This should drag us down, and this will take SPY with it, hopefully down to London low or somewhere in that range. So our previous day's 50 on SPY, 693.96, and then the low is 689. And then our London 50 is... London low was made at 687. London high made at 689.40, so they overlap a little bit. But SPY should also wake up to about 689.57 into open. Man, is it just me or are we trading really small moves? I remember when we used to have like $3, $4 gaps regularly. And all week we've had maybe $1 gap up if we're lucky, excluding Monday. All right, we're open. See a quick wick up to 624, and then we can go back down. If we close over 624, then I mean we might have a trend day all the way up to 627.88. The low gaps like this, the ones that are under 0.2%, these ones typically always fill gap up or gap down. So if it doesn't end up filling that, it's not really that valid of a play to take anyway. It's not like we're missing anything. At least SPY and Qs are going in the same direction. It's the first day all week. Couldn't quite get a continuation up, but we should go and take, I don't know. We're just gonna wait. I've been a little frustrated with the London 50 recently because we haven't had the ability to even use it or look at it. Maybe Roland has been able to use it. I don't know if he's in here right now. He's not. He uses it on like the 1 minute time frame, so maybe he caught something on that. But I just have not been able to use that gap play, sweeps in the London 50 or anything. Kind of stinks. The payout structure for the Apex ones, I need to get to, Steve was just telling me this morning, I need to get to 26.1. Anything over 26.1 you can take for the payout, but you need, for the first payout, you need to get to 26.6. So I'm 1,100 away from being able to take a $10,000 payout. And that's all with, I mean, the biggest day we had was like 330, but the majority of it's been from $70 to $50 days. And yesterday was a $30 day because we didn't have anything to take. There's no monthly fee on those, no. Similar to Lucid Pros, yes. Pretty much the same as Lucid. The only difference is, and that's why I'm not that upset to use the Apex accounts. The only difference is these accounts have a trailing intraday drawdown, but it's another 500. Lucid, your drawdown's $1,000. Both accounts, you need to hit 27,600 to get the max payout. So it's not that big of an issue. You get another 50% in drawdown on these. So if I were trading London 50, man, I miss it. I miss London 50. If I were trading it, we'd want to see London 50 look more so like that, where the wick of that candle goes right up to London 50. We had the rejections pre-market, and then we take an entry targeting the London low, which it would have already hit. But obviously we did not have that London 50. Our London 50 is that right there. Looks like we also, oh my goodness, 4 days in a row. You got to be kidding me. Look at SPY and Qs. SPY is printing a green candle right now, and Qs is down almost $2. Looks like we did just take, not quite. We almost took yesterday's low, which will validate. There we go. So yesterday's low is off. That inside bar stat is fulfilled. Touch low right there. So we no longer have that for a draw to the downside. They're lining up a little bit now, but we are going to get that IB low, or we should get that IB low for today. I just wish London 50 was a little bit better. What's the blue line on Tradeovate? I honestly don't. I think it's VWAP. I don't know. I don't use it. I haven't really looked into editing Tradeovate all that much. there a way I can see what my chart elements are? I have no idea. I think it's VWAP. Chart settings. Beats me. Oh, SMA. There we go. $15 SMA. No, I don't use it, so it's just on there. I'll leave it on there. It's been good luck. Yeah, man. Trash can there to remove it. Oh, okay. It's been good luck. We've been having green days with it, so I'll leave it on the chart. You want to take out only 500 per account? For the first payout, I think I wouldn't mind it because after that you're not restricted for how much you can take out. What's going on, Frenchie? Steve can answer more on that. I'm not really the Apex professional. I'm slowly understanding the rules. I know it's for the first 6, but for the first payout, isn't it? You have to have the 1,500. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. That was Japan, Frenchie. Oh, we had the right bias, bearish into open. Just, I cannot believe 4 days in a row, SPY and Qs are going the opposite direction again. It's not quite yet. Well, no, it is. SPY's green. Open candle. Why? First time hearing Steve's voice and I'm feeling flustered. Now they're definitely going the opposite direction. This is BS. This sucks. Unless we can get a wick if this can be a sweep of previous day's low and then we get all the way back up, that'd be nice. SPY's gap just about filled with that wick. Still need a little bit more. Japan's amazing, loving the nature. Awesome. Yeah, I don't want to wreck the mojo we've been having. The SMA, maybe it's good luck. If I remove it, then we're gonna have like a negative 600 red day. I have no idea why they've been so detached all week. It's pretty nasty though. So no sweep over previous day's low. We didn't quite get that gap fill, but we did get the inside bar stat fulfilled, which is what we were looking for. There's no entry model on it. Pretty nasty open for Qs. SPY's hanging out, just chilling. Frenchie just said DOL, drawn liquidity already reached. Yeah. Most likely going to be hands off on NQ today. We'll be able to take IB. We won't avoid that, but that previous day's low was already what we were hanging on to for where price should go. And now it's already flushed and hit within the first couple of minutes. But I cannot believe, I know I'm going to keep saying this all day, I can't believe SPY and Qs have been this detached from each other all week. And then what the heck is this? IWM's up almost $2 in the opening candle. Huh? We need the orange man to say something. Bring the volatility back in the market. We're just getting toyed with now. This is bizarre. Anyone have a guess on what gold's doing? Is it up $7 or is it break even? Which one is it going to be countering? 15-cent candle. I had to squint a little bit to see that. That's ridiculous. SPY and Q's moving together now? Not really. I mean, SPY, yeah, never mind. I'm sorry, Eddie. SPY should be down a lot more than it is right now. Q's is almost down $3 right now. SPY is down a whopping 29 cents on the opening candle. And then you have IWM that's up $1.80. So far, we have the IB high form first and then the low form second on SPY. So that at least lines up. Q's obviously has the high form first and the low. Somebody in the stream is bad luck this week. I don't know who it is. Who's been in here every day this week? Bob. What's going on, Zoo? How you doing? Not really moving together now. What was that? Oh, how you doing? I didn't know whose voice that was. I was here last week too. Yeah, something's fishy about you, Bob. You took the sweep? Nice. How you doing, triage? Or TR? I can't even say that. I'm back. You're going to win today. RTI, IWM is up. Not just up. This one is way up there. Q's is fighting for its life, and SPY's just dancing right at London 50 right now. I bet the stats are probably this is probably neutral as can be. I'm from Maine. Bullish. What about this? It's bullish. Does AB go up? No. Oh, this is a gap fill. Okay. This hasn't updated yet. Gap's already been. Oh, that's why. I'm saying bullish because we had a gap fill to the upside and a little wick. Avgo's definitely dragging Q's down. NVIDIA's dragging Q's down. Those ones are in free fall right now. There we go. SPY and Q's are starting to move in the same direction now. A little bit better. Do you have an indicator for London highs and lows? No, I just draw them out. Which strategy you use? ICT or something different? Well, I did use the London 50, but we haven't. I don't think we've taken a London 50 trade in like 3 weeks. It's been nerfed. So we've just been relying on the IB, which I'm not really complaining. I don't think any of you guys are either. The IB's been very good to us recently. IWM is perfectly inverting QQQ right now. It's a shame that we didn't get that gap. 624.01. That's all that had to hit. But that inside bar stat was a little too strong, it seems. At the $4 range, I do like this. So right now, once this candle closes, we'll get our IB stat. SPY and QQQ moving together now. I still feel like SPY should be down a lot more than it is. But they are, yeah, I'm happy to see they're moving together. They're finally on good terms. So we will be looking for the IB low on Qs. IB by rejection for a Thursday. Thursdays used to be bad, but they traded off with Tuesday. Tuesday's the crappy day now. So very clearly form the IB high first, IB low. What we want for price is a move all the way back up to 621, and then we can target back down. This is a definitely overdue a win for today as well on Qs. 53% for a Thursday. But this is the same reading that we had on SPY not too long ago. The reason this is all messed up is because the past 2 Thursdays were no trade. So those are 2 missing data points that just don't get included. And then this is only calculating for, as opposed to 13 days, it's only calculating for, looks like an 8. 5 actually. So we want price to come back up. Looks like we're at yesterday's open. Swept weekly high, previous week's high. Pretty nasty. So we want price to come all the way back up. Still have 45 minutes on the IB, so no rush to get into anything yet. But hopefully we get a move back up towards 521, and then we'll be looking for 618. I will say last time we had a move like this was over on this Friday, December 19th. We had a $4 opening candle, pretty much no wick on either side of that candle. Small continuation, price went perfectly, hit 50% of the IB. There's the IB right there. Hit it, it couldn't have been any better. And then it ended up pivoting. Never quite took the IB high. It took it at 445, but that doesn't count. So hopefully we get something like this today. And we are getting a really nice retracement, but it's just too soon. A little too early. I'm not bullish, no. I mean, ES is definitely, it's messing around. As long as it doesn't go and take a new high, we should be fine. I wouldn't particularly say that SPY and Q, I mean, they're making the same candle, but they're not really moving the same. And it's mainly because of NVIDIA and Avgo. Just taking a quick look at those two. NVIDIA is down $2 in the opening candle. Big old drop. And then Avgo is also down like $6 in the opening candle. $7.49. So 2 pretty massive drops on 2 tickers that are very, very heavily weighted in Qs. And then let's see what Apple's doing. Apple shouldn't be down that much because Apple has a huge weighting in SPY. So this is why SPY is doing what it's doing. Qs isn't. Getting a little shafted from the semiconductors. Took a small short on MES. No entry for me on anything yet. Even the orb, that one I put in an entry quite yet. 15-minute orb, we closed over it. So there's no breakout strategy quite yet. All we need is SPY to make a new IB high in this candle. Good grief. Don't even say that. This would be a decent London 50 entry on SPY. Still a little too early for me for the IB. Could definitely go and take it to the lows, but this would also only be like a $30 reward. It's not even really worth getting in the trade. $200 off open. There you go, Steve. Is that what just with shorts? I'm about to facepalm here if SPY goes and takes a new high. Could you imagine if Qs goes all the way back up and takes another high, though? That would be something else. Just looked at my Roth. Yikes. Yeah, we don't want to be taking a look at the long-term port recently. Those ones are scary. As long as SPY does not go and take 689.28. We're fine. We want this to be right at 1030 that goes up to that 50%. Hopefully it follows that arrow for the next 30 minutes. You still bearish on ES? Yeah. Well, for now, there's still a lot of time for the IB. But ideally, we go up and we just kind of pitter patter our way up to 50%. For the IB, for SPY, should be a little bit better on the risk reward, or not the risk reward, the win rate for Thursday. Oh, it's not. Maybe Thursdays stink. I know it's because we had last Thursday close and the Thursday before that close that these data points are all messed up. Because over the past 6 months, that's missing 2 data points is quite a bit. And then it also looks like we've had another 2 Thursdays that haven't broken out of that range, which lines up with one of the Thursdays we had in early December, where it just never broke the IB. Nice rejection off London 50. No trade on that because it is only, I don't want to size up into it, but if we had taken it, it's only a 8-point move to the downside, which is $40 on one MES. MES would only be a $10 move. On one? Damn, that thing moves slow. Do I trade gold? No, I do not. No, we don't touch gold during New York and here. IWM is shooting for the stars. 10 points is $50. I think I said what you said backwards, Steve. It's an 8-point move for London 50 right now to London low. London 50 is just below where we are right now, so it's right about 6950, and that would be a 7-point move to London low, actually. The bottom of that body, 7 points, which would be $35. SPY is about to go and take a new high, I swear. GLD, nothing on that. Very close to going and taking a new high. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of London 50. That's not going to do anything for us today. Well, let's see if the IB can deliver that today. Still a lot of time left on it. SPY is going to maybe go take a new high. Oh, excuse me. $10 points is $50 on. That's not MES. How much is 10 points on MES? Is it $10? Okay. Gotcha. Barely didn't take a new high right there. Scary. This is going to be uncomfortably close today because I think the range that we have on Qs right now. Fibonacci. The range we have on Qs is our high is up to 802, our low is down to, so it's a 200-point range, 100-point entry. But the uncomfortable part is that SPY is only like 2 points away from taking the IB high, which will counter each other. That wouldn't be very good. It'll be a back-to-back day of nasty. This week has been awful. Awful. We had a really nice win, at least on Tuesday. So we'd stretch that win out over 3 days if we wanted to. Also, Steve, I couldn't find anything. All the replies I had on that post were just saying that it's slippage on the trade copier, which kind of stinks because all the other ones did have some slippage on them too. But $19 off. It's like almost 10 points of slippage, which kind of stinks. Well, it might have been up here when I was in the position. I guess I didn't look. It might have said 37, but I might have done buy a bid. I thought I did buy market or sell market, one of the two. Yeah, that's why I'm so confused as to why it's off by as much as it is. When I went to reports for these, it said 37 for that trade. So that means that 3 of them didn't fill, which were on these. That was the M and Q trade. That means that 3 of them didn't fill on this. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I was confused by it. Yeah. What profit target do you aim for before taking a payout on Lucid 25K? I didn't have a profit target on those. I think before I took the first payout, my balance was like 28,400. And then for the second payout that I took on those same accounts, I only had to make $50 for 5 days. I don't think that I was talking about this yesterday too. I don't think that you should be aiming for a profit target. Wall dives in here, he knows. Just trade the setup, and then once you get to the point where you're qualifying for the payout, you're at the payout. I don't think that you should be pushing for a specific amount per day. Like I almost slipped up a little bit yesterday. I was up $20. I got back on at like 2 in the afternoon. I was editing a video. And I was like, yeah, we're at 25.9 right now. I'll take a long. And then I corrected myself and exited it almost immediately. And I'm glad I did because we just free fell after that. It was right about, I mean, I would have gotten my TP. I entered, I think, at like 625, 64. And then it just kept falling. But if you aim for a dollar amount each day, you're not going to feel satisfied with a winning trade on your setup. You're going to be like, man, I need to make another $12, or I need to make another $50, or I need to make X amount to reach my profit target for the day. And what that does is it makes it so you're not trading a setup, you're trading the dollar amount, which you don't ever want to do. So I do not focus on the P&L of the day. Obviously, I want to have a winning trading day, which is why I guess I kind of do aim for $50 a day. That's a qualifying trading day. Prop firms that have the qualifying trading day as like 150, 200, those ones are a lot more difficult, because if you don't reach that profit target, that's a lot more for you to try and reach if that's what you're aiming for. But anyway, no profit target. The profit target that I take is based on the trade. So the IB, if it's a small range like it was earlier this week, well, Tuesday wasn't very small. If it's a smaller range, then my profit's going to be smaller for the day. If it's a larger range, my profit or my loss is going to be wider for the day. So for today's example, we want to get a move back up to 50% of it. In this implied move with the range that we have on MNQ. I don't want, there we go. So this is, our high is at 802 and our low is being made right now at 25,586. So this is 110 points just about for the IB, which would be $220 on one MNQ. Because we want price to get back up to 50%, and then it's just a 1-to-1 risk reward. So could make $210 today or $220 today. Could lose $220. Or a day like earlier this week where we had a 55-point range in the IB yesterday. Could have made 110 or could have lost 110. That's how my days are sized. And then there's some other confluences added in there too. It's not just the IB trade. It's the London 50, previous day's 50. Where do we line up with that? How are SPY and Qs trading in correlation to each other? Which right now they are still very, very off. When you made the 70, what was the trade? I took a MGC short last night. I don't really need to watch Qs right now. GC, just go this. So I took a gold short last night on, what was the time frame on it? I think I took it pretty much right 446, 4468. Took it on the break of, it was either an inversion or a break. I was also in an MNQ long last night as well. So I had an MNQ long. We had an inversion right here at 6:30. It was delayed 6:45. We had an inversion and then it just never followed through. Ended up getting stopped at break even, or maybe a little green. But for that MGC short, that one was one MGC, and that ended up being, where's the, there we go. Had a really nice dump into Asia Open last night. So it was like I think I only got 7 points out of it, which was still really good. And I exited early too. I could have made another decent amount. But one micro is one account. If you're just trading one micro, if you're doing it on like a 50K, and yeah, it's going to take absolutely forever to get a payout. On the same note, you're not going to be blowing accounts. So your reward there is, if you're rushing for a payout, you're going to blow how much in eval fees or activation fees. What'd you end up taking today, Roland? Did you get a London 50 short? A London low short? I'm waiting to see 100 and, you know, I'm feeling a little extra for you today. 220. I think you got 220. Oh, that makes sense. I was just wondering with the buffer if you wouldn't take a payout unless you have $1,000 minimum, because it locks at 25.1 after. Well, with payouts too, it's ideal that you stack payouts within the same account. As long as you get a payout though, you're still winning on that prop firm, which is why I don't mind being super tight. Like these Apex accounts, I think I might take a payout even if I get right to 26,000, because that's still going to be a 10K payout, and I put 2K into these accounts. So the risk reward is I still just 5x my money in no time. And like, I activated these accounts January 2nd, sorry. So let's say I qualify for a payout in a week and a half or next week or 2 weeks from now. It's still, I just turned $2,000 into $10,000 in something that would take the S&P like 5 years. Or any other investment strategy. I don't think you're going to 5x your money in that short of a time frame. So let's say the Lucid accounts, what you're asking, Tyson, let's say the Lucids, I have 26,000 for a balance on them, and the buffer needs to be 26.1. As soon as I get over 26.1, I wouldn't mind taking the payout. Even if it means that the second payout's going to be a real pain for you, it is what it is. You still turn $350 into $1,000 or $5,000 if you're trading on 5 accounts. If it's one account, then it's $70 to $1,000. Oh no! Oh no! New IB high taken on SPY. Son of a gun. We could still try to take it on Qs today. Ooh. Wait for previous daily low for confirmation than short. Better trader than me. Damn. 320 on the day? Is that times 20 too? 280. Jeez. 5-minute entry would have been really good on previous day's low. So we want this to go right to 50% at 10:30, but SPY just went and took a new IB high, sadly. We can still watch it. Maybe even take it. We'll see. I'm very disappointed with that. It's been every single day this week. Which eval is better in your opinion, 25K Pro or Flex? I haven't used the Flex yet. 25K Pro is not bad. That's the one I've always gone with. $70, no activation fee, one-time payment, and it's $1,000 payout. What are you aiming for in ES? SPY, I'm not targeting anything. SPY, I'm just using for added confidence. MNQ is the one that I want to retrace to 50%, but we have this little predicament now. Kind of stinks. How close are you to another set of payouts, Roland? You got to be pretty close. You're up like 800 on each account this week, I feel. I think I'd take another 4K from Apex. There you go. Is that on those top 4 accounts there on that screenshot? Top 5. You should be close to that big payout anytime now. 2K from Elite. I don't know. Why are you still trading with them? I thought you said their rules were terrible. No problem, Muhammad. See ya. Why do you like Pro more than Flex? I just haven't tried the Flex yet. The Flex is still pretty new. This is gross. Gap close on SPY. It did. So this is ideal for an entry on Qs. We still have another 14 minutes before we can take it. This is a lot of time for this to either go and take a new IB high maybe or kind of pitter out. This is awful on SPY. I don't even think the orb would have worked for today. The orb would have just been a stop loss. ES is flying. It is. IWM is flying. SPY is flying. Qs is pumping up a good bit right now. See that it's struggling right at that 50%, which is nice. SPY's probably going to go 690 if it hasn't already hit. It's just barely above the high that we made. Qs isn't too bad. It's just SPY being the meanie again. Two back-to-back days where they're inversing each other. Kind of stinks. I do think we might be able to take a low. What I'd like to see, if we do take this trade today, I think I want to see it over 50%. I'd like to get either up to previous day's low, and this is just because it will negate what our risk reward is. Instead of a 1-to-1, we can get like a 1-to-3 or 1-to-4 if we let it creep up a little bit more. Yes, about to reject. It still has 3 minutes on this candle. 5 minutes bouncing off that London high. 15-minute, putting no wick in, so it needs another 3 minutes to close. Good morning. Good morning. Alan, how you doing? Hopefully we can get a big play in today. I'd like to take that IB trade. It's a messy day again. On ES, gamma is positive, but delta is negative. Is that for Gex, Mike? A lot of my trader friends that I've talked to this week have said that it's been pretty difficult, not for their strategy, but just difficult to read because price has been all over the place. Like the orb, that would have just lost right there. You might have gotten a little win. Depends on how fast you were able to secure that because that wasn't wicked down very long. SPY definitely would have been a loss on the IB orb low. Am I looking long on ES now? I'm not looking at anything on ES. Not switching any biases. I'm looking for this on Qs. I don't really think we're going to get the IB low, though. I mean, even if it doesn't, it's not that much that we're going to be missing. It's 53 versus 38%. It's pretty damn close to 50-50. Ideally, we get up to, and I'll change the strategy for this one a little bit. Ideally, we get up to like 622. So at least we're going to be, if we take the entry there, our risk will be $50 and our reward will be $400. As opposed, or sorry, $50 risk, $350 reward. No, I was right because we made a new low. 802 all the way down to 570. So 230 points. If we get an entry up at like 750, maybe even a little bit higher, then I'd be fine with that. This week was rough. Trapped me yesterday and start to trade like a beginner again. Whole London was weird. If we can, I might disregard SPY today. I don't really want to, but if we can hold underneath this level, I'd like to remove some of the risk from that QQQ trade for the IB as opposed to entering right at 50%. I'd like to see if we can get up to 622. Gonna catch some shut eye. Good luck, everyone. You too, Frenchie. I mean, best case, we can just go and avoid a loss or avoid a win. Worst case, we end up getting in and breaking a rule with letting SPY and Qs not line up. Get kind of screwed over there. I will take it if we can get all the way up to 623. Because we're not really, our risk would be nothing, and our reward would be all the way back down to low. I don't think we're going to get the low, though, with how SPY is pushing right now. Unless SPY starts getting some weakness. IWM is being a little stickler, too. But unless we can start getting some pivoting candles on SPY. This is an ideal entry right now if they were lined up. It's probably going to be the same thing that happened yesterday, where SPY and Qs both hit their stat, but it's opposing direction. So you're just you can't short or long that on. I think Tradeify has a no hedging rule. Lucid, you can long and short MES and M and Q at the same time. Top Step you cannot. Apex you cannot, because they'll blow your account, I think, or they'll ban you for hedging. So we want to see up to. I want to de-risk from it. SPY and Qs are not playing together. So either going to be looking to de-risk or just not take the IB trade on Qs at all. Which kind of stinks, but it's the position we're put in right now. Gold is up. Which is even stranger too, because gold usually inverses whatever. I guess it is inversing what Qs is doing, but SPY and gold are going the same direction, and IWM. Is oil going up too? Oil's pivoting. It's been a really weird week. It's rejecting. Needs another 5 minutes on that candle. I don't want to risk. We could still take it. I just don't want to risk 100 points. 110 points. Last try, 115 points. I don't want to risk that large of a stop loss for these two not lining up with each other. Thank you, Alexander. Tomorrow's NFP too. This is some NFP shenanigans right here. What's going on, Mikey? How you doing? Good, good. Wish the IB was lining up with Qs, but it's okay. It's okay. Really bad stat right now. Let's see the screener. Google, Amazon, Tesla, green, NQ has no financials, possible reason for divergence. Screener is very, very slightly bullish. We're getting the move past where we wanted it to. So if we can get a little bit higher, I'll take a short up here at like 6. I'll take a short just before we hit the IB high if it gets up there. But no rush on anything for the funded right now for me. Possible reason for divergence. Well, it's definitely NVIDIA and Avgo are a big reason why Qs is down as much as it is. NVIDIA is down $3, 1.5%. Avgo actually came back up quite a bit. Oh, it's on Qs. It's not Avgo. Avgo's down $9, 2.5%. Apple's the heavily weighted one, and SPY, this one's not really down that much into open anyway, so that's why it's a contribution to the SPY not being down that much. Google's up. Google's heavily weighted in SPY. It's just a really weird position. Cosmo long on a fresh 100K eval, 100K funded at the bottom of 10 a.m. waiting for short with you. Oh, I might even not take it. This is, if it can hold here for another 2 minutes, this would be a perfect example of what we usually look for. Or what we do look for, but it's just not. SPY is spooking me out of it. Well, on the same note, SPY, if it does what it did yesterday, I'm giving up. Where they both hit their stat, they fulfill what they were supposed to do. I will not put very much risk on this. I'll maybe risk 25 points. So if we get up to, I'll have an order like right there. That's what I'd look to get an entry, and then want to bring it all the way back down to that low. So it would be something like that. 210 point drop, $420 in one. And then our risk would be $50. But I'm not inclined to take it right now. Just over 50%. If it ends up working, great. Validates the IB working on any given day. Hopefully it doesn't. I'd like to see SPY creep up a little bit more, because I would really like to take a very low risk trade. Risk 25 to make 420. Using the 4-hour downswing, price looks to be tracing up to discount 50% fib 697 area. Yeah, it still has a ways to go. It's the high from last night, 6969.75. Sad thing is it's working perfectly right now. It's really struggling to get over 50%, and this does look like it's going to fold right down. But on the same note, SPY looks rather bullish right now for the day. I haven't looked at any higher time frames, but it's adding some more info in. I think it's funny how the IB strategy gets really, not, I wouldn't say viral, but a lot of people find interest in it, and then this is the week that it has, once you have that many people learn how to trade it. It's kind of similar to how the orb works, or the 15-minute orb goes through phases where it goes really viral, and then people trade it for like 2 weeks. It does absolutely nothing, and everyone goes back to hating it, and then it starts working for the weeks that people don't use it, and then it goes really viral again, so on and so forth. The IB is essentially just like an orb. It's just the hour instead of 15-minute. It's looking really good. Qs. I should go back and look at how many NFP Thursdays we've had a loss on. Completely disregarded that NFP was tomorrow, maybe because MarketWatch never posts NFP. I think SPY looks bullish right now. I wouldn't take anything on it, but I think that looks bullish and Qs looks bearish. Okay, there we go. I would like this to come up a lot more. And then if it does end up taking the high, we risk $50. Nothing substantial. If it wants to go and take the IB low, fulfill its stat for today, great. We end up making $420 on one M&Q, which would be insane. Even right now, an entry right at 50 would be 220 would be the risk reward for dollars. It's 115, sorry. So 230. How did it turn out yesterday in the IB stat when we had this divergence? They both hit. But I don't know how I would view that though, because the SPY hit its IB low. SPY was definitely pushing up. It was all the way up at 692.50. And then some news came out that NVDA wasn't selling their chips to China anymore. Valid or not valid. And SPY immediately went from 692.50 all the way down to 691 within maybe 10 seconds. And then 10 seconds later, it was right back up to 692, and then it ended up going and taking the high. But when that happened, Qs had already taken its high. You can see the same wick right here at 10:30. So Qs was all the way up at 625.70. It was dragging SPY with it. That news came out, dragged it all the way down. They both fulfilled their stat for yesterday. It was just a little tomfoolery. I think, hang on a minute. I was just trashing on London 50 saying we haven't been able to take it. What if London 50 ends up being our entry today? Yes. Let's do that. So that will be our 25-point entry. We'll have some validation at London 50. We have a lot of levels to get through, which is another reason I'm bearish on Qs. There's a lot of previous day's low, London 50. Maybe the thing pulling us back up is the fact that we didn't go and wick to that gap fill, because that would be a sneaky stat to hit after not hitting it right in the open wick, because it is a 78% chance that we go and fill it. Timing for London 50 is 4 a.m. to 9:30 open. Any high or low made in that time frame. So I'll take a short entry at London 50 if we get up there. Nothing else, though. I'm not going to take it at the IB 50 because they're countering each other. If it ends up working out, tip our hat to it. Say screw you, flip the bird to SPY, and move on. So 25 points is what I'm looking to risk today. And the reward to that drop would be $430 if we end up going and taking the IB low. We've pretty much always used SPY and Qs together. And pretty much all of November, all of December, they were lined up with each other. November wasn't that good of a month for the IB, but it was still enough to get 2 payouts from. December was awful for it. Still enough to get 2 payouts from. But it is a cautious approach. What's the London 50 hours again? 4 a.m. to 9:30. Semperfi in at 25,695 for a short. I'm waiting for 25,775 is what I'm going to take a short at. It's pretty much right at London 50, maybe a little bit below. No, it should be right there. 25,775. I'll actually put a limit sell order in there. Not going to put a limit buy in because I don't want to get bought in all the way down at the IB low. That'd be embarrassing. 25,695. That's a pretty good entry, actually. We have 25.7 that could reject right here. 29 seconds left in the candle. If I end up losing $50 on it, it's worth the risk. $50 risk for a $420 reward. Closed over IB50 as well, so that could be a small invalidation if we had taken the entry there. But ultimately, you want to take the entry at 50% and then just a 1-to-1 R. But today is a small exception. Minor exception. Man. I thought we were going to have a good day, too. It's working for you right now, Semperfi. You're up 15 points. Just be gracious enough to get us that really nice risk reward, please. It's the only day that I'm rooting for the IB not to work right away. I hate you, Spy. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. IWM too. You can go chum it. Both of these things. Are you gonna take another trade, Roland, or are you just sitting in here watching? You get any new accounts, Mikey? There you go. You see that I have all those Apex accounts open? How far I've come? I have 20 right now, 20 performance accounts. They are at 25,550 for all of them. And after this, they'll either be at 26,000 or they'll be at 25,500. Let's see. Sold NAS 100 at IB50. I am not taking it at the 50 today because their spying cues are diverged. Am I in a trade right now? I am not, Carlos. I am not. So these are a lot of the questions I get for the strategy as well, in terms of entry. Like anyone that goes and back test it and they say, oh, if I'm just taking the IB50, I enter right at 50. Let's say this one ends up being a loss and it goes all the way up to the high. There's a lot of other variables. Like you can't just go and look at cues because you probably, yes, it would have worked yesterday, taking the trade at 50% and then targeting the high. Spy obviously countered it yesterday. There's a lot of variables going into the trade. Confluences that you can add in as well. Right now, we could definitely enter short and just let it play out for the afternoon. I do think it's going to go and still take the IB low. Statistically, it should. But it's not a comfortable trade to be in. Obviously, it's getting a nice little push down right now. Oh, no. Yes, but no. Happy that it's pushing down. Sad that I'm not taking an entry unless we get up here. This would be, if it goes and takes the IB, it's going to be 115 points if you guys entered right at 50. Semper Fi, you're up 30 points. You might take a DCA if it gets back to London 50, although don't like adding that, but it's an eval. Yeah, I haven't added in on any losing trades for a long time. It feels nice. I'm still sitting firm on the fact that adding into a losing trade typically just makes you lose more than what you would have if you would just let the first trade be a loss. There's the pullback, though. SPY, you suck. All SPY had to do was stay underneath 689. That's it. This is pretty similar to the one that we had on Tuesday, though, where it was just over 50%. This one did end up going to 75%, so hopefully we can get something like that again. So I managed to get an entry along the way down, 619 or 620-ish on Tuesday. That's what made it such a big day for Qs, because it was like a 50-point risk to a 110-point reward to the high, because it was an 80-point range. And then today we're looking to do that same thing, but I don't think it's gonna, sadly. This would be a really mechanical approach today. There's 50 points for you, Semper Fi. I'm keeping track of it. It's probably going to end up winning today. Unfortunately, we're not in it. Hindsight, obviously 2020 on this. Why didn't you take the trade? You stink. But you can't go and pick and choose for that, because at the same time, let's say we were trading, let's say we're ES traders as opposed to trading MNQ. Trading on ES, this would be a pretty nasty loss right now if we had entered long, targeting the high, and now it's just melting to the downside. But this is another sadly perfect representation of it, that we're Mr. Stink. Yes. You guys are going to refer to me as Mr. Stink from now on. 2 days in a row. Right call, Zinc, unless your main conf loses line up. Just don't take it. Simple as that. Yeah, but I want to be right all the time. Gosh. Is that too much to ask for? No, that's okay, Todd. I deserve it. Out at 209 profit. There you go, Semper Fi. Now that you're out, you were the anchor that was pulling it down. Now Qs can go all the way back up to 622, and we'll be happy. This would be a long entry on SPY right now, because it just hit 50%. It just sucks because they're all week. SPY and Qs have been playing tug of war with each other. Qs won yesterday. SPY won on Monday, Tuesday too. Tuesday is the only day we've had this week where they've lined up with each other. May get back up there. I hope it does. Hopefully it does something like this. It just goes all the way up, hits London 50, and then sends it. I don't think it will. No, I'm saying you can't pick and choose between the one that you would want to win on versus lose on. Like, we can go on this, and we can go, this is the example I'm going to keep using. The Tuesday that SPY took a new low, or Qs took a new low, Tuesday, December 23rd. Qs took a new low, SPY did not. We go and look at, that's a perfect representation of it on SPY too. They're probably both going to fulfill today again, just like yesterday. But Tuesday, December 19th, right? December 23rd. This day right here. So this is the same exact thing that's happening today. Not quite as diverged as they are today, but still the same thing. We can't, just because we want to validate that it's a winning strategy, we can't go back here and say, oh, well, I would have taken the trade on SPY that day, not Qs, even though Qs was calling for downside, SPY was calling for upside. Can't go and pick and choose to make it work in our heads. Once I take a win, would you get back in at the same good level or done for the day? Usually I'm done for the day. For the IB trade, it doesn't have many reactions that work as well as the first one, the initial one. And the other thing too is just not being greedy about it. Like, you just made $200 on that trade. I don't know if you copy traded at all, but even $200, that's a 8-hour day for people that do manual labor. That's what helps me keep myself from being greedy on trades. Long on ES on one prop firm and short on NQ on the other. Would that be something? SPY's about to go and take its high. See, I told you, Semperfi, you were the anchor that was dragging that thing down. There you go, Steve. You got your 50 for the day? Cut early. That was a pretty good representation of the IB on SPY, at least. Pretty much as clean as it can get. Perfect representation of it on SPY. Hit the 50% to the cent, and then should take the high right here, 690.04. 690.02. It's at 689.86 right now. That was also, I don't usually use these, but I guess we actually didn't have an inversion. Thought we had an inverse fair value gap. We do not. There you go, Steve. I will look for London 50. I am the anchor. Yeah, so copy trade 2 accounts, Semperfi, $200. You just made $1,000. This is the way that I would view it. So why would you want to risk that $1,000 day from getting into another trade and make it maybe a $1,500 to $2,000 day, or do you want to just walk away and come back tomorrow, pocket $1,000 and move on? Even though I know it's in an eval, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. 48.84. You stink, Steve. Just get 50. What are you doing? I'm kidding. You know, I might stay in the stream a little bit longer today. See how long this takes for the. I don't want to say that I'm going to stay in the stream for the IB to break, because I might be stuck here until freaking 2:30 like we would have been on Tuesday. I don't want to make that commitment. Watch the day that I say that. It's going to be like that Friday we had 3 weeks ago where it took all the way until 4:30 for it to break. We could have squeezed the win out of that. Probably would have been a loss. Or not that it would have been a loss. It would have been a break-even stop at the very least. I don't think I would have secured it. It was from the 50. That drop that we just got was 60 points. So $120. Still a really good trade. Perfect reaction on SPY. I don't know. Not as educated on SPY as I am on MNQ, but I believe that would have been $60, 12-point break. So $60 on one MES. Do you have any data for the 5-minute versus 15-minute? The IB is only on the 15. Sorry, the IB is only on the 60-minute. I just happen to trade on the 15-minute chart. The time frame that you trade the IB on, it doesn't do anything. The 3-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute, that doesn't mean anything. The IB is just the first 60 minutes of market open. 9:30 to 10:30. So there's no advantage to using a different time frame to enter on it. It's all the same. I like the 15-minute because it doesn't give me heart palpitations while I'm watching it. If I were to go down to the 1-minute time frame, I would definitely have an elevated heart rate. Hang on. So SPY fulfilled its IB stat, and there's still a chance that QQQ does the same. If it takes the IB low. SPY hasn't taken it quite yet, but it should here in a minute. It's only 15 cents away. It's the same exact thing that it did yesterday, Bob. It literally identical days. SPY took its low on BS news. Q's fulfilled its stat high. SPY fulfilled its stat low. And then they kind of got coupled for the afternoon, a little tiny bit. They lost traction again at 1:30, 1:45, and then started going the same direction to close. I was assuming it took the high out. This is looking very weak on Qs. And it's still looking strong on SPY. My Twitter post today is going to be that the IB stinks. Shouldn't be traded by anyone. I'm a bit unclear. Are we supposed to plot the gone box using one of these time frames, 1800 previous day to 9:15 today, or from 4 a.m.? There's two of them, Sam. First one's London 50. That's the smaller one right here. That is any high or low made between 4 and 9:30 open. Previous day one is the same thing, but it's 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. 4 a.m. in the morning to 8 p.m. Any high or low made in that time frame is what you chart out. And then the IB trade is the first hour. It's 9:30 to 10:30. Man, that would have been another perfect entry too. It's pretty damn hard sitting here and not taking this. SPY missed its IB high by 6 cents right there. 690.02 is the high. SPY just hit 689.96. Did it take it on MES? It did not. It did not. I'm going to remove that sell order just so I don't forget it up there. I'm going to make sure that I have nothing open on these charts. I get scared. I'm going to leave something open on accident. It's happened one too many times. You can definitely use edgeful and customize many different IBs, different sessions lengths. Edgeful is really cool, but yes, traditional IB is the first 60 minutes. I mean, the report, you can have the high formed on the high form first in the 5-minute, but not in the 15-minute, for example. I don't think you can customize this. Oh, right here, yeah, you can. So you can, if you customize it down to the 5-minute or 15-minute, then that just makes it the same exact report as the opening range breakout. So it's no longer the initial balance breakout, it's the opening range breakout. What was the inspiration between your very catchy caption, IB remains goated? Is it statistically or strategically placed? Well, I usually post it when we take a win on it. Right now, it's working on Qs. The IB's also working on SPY. It's just going in the opposite direction. I guess it is strategically placed. I post it so much because the trade wins so much. But I'm about to have back-to-back days of not taking it. No trade today. No trade so far. I just love the way you say it. Super catchy. Good. It's because it is goated. You say it to myself at home all the time. I offered you a vocal stem. I'm glad. Catchy little vocal stem. A little disappointed that the Stranger Things conformity gate thing ended up being a nothing burger. I was a little sad. I was looking forward to having another episode. That would have been cool. Oh. So frustrating. So the only way that I'm going to take this trade today is if we get all the way up to London 50. That's it. We do have, I don't use it, but our little good luck charm, the SMA here. We do have that coming down, which is going to offer some more resistance if we wick back up. How old am I now? I'm 26. Regretfully 26. No longer on my parents' health insurance. What a terrible time. You got disconnected and missed the time levels. Whenever you're free, can you drop them here? Yep, I got you, Sam. Damn, we have like 15 Sams in the Discord. Which one are you? Sam 29? It's got to be a Sam 29 some here. Sam 34, Sam 24, 08, 34, 99. Jeez. I'll just put them in free chat in the Discord. London 50. 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. High or low. Tuesday 50. There you go. It's a sad day. Nice little H pattern. Do you have Discord? I do. Should be linked in my bio on Twitter. Mr. Zinc X. The IB is not goated for me today. It's being a little of a biatch. A little bit of a not nice trade. How's the wife's business doing? She's chugging along. I think she's doing well. Just reselling clothes. She actually got me a really nice like vintage LL Bean hunting bag. Or I'm going to use it for a hunting bag. It's right in the back. I don't know if you can see it right there. Nice canvas. I'm about to be 26. How do you handle the whole health insurance thing? I just don't have it yet, Glitz. I do not have health insurance at the moment. Nothing good comes from trading after being up the minimum. Out 68.78. Yes, close it out too. SPY did not. You jinxed it, Bob. SPY didn't fulfill it. Either one of these is going to end up being a loss today. SPY's probably going to end up losing. It's going to take the IB low. It's getting dragged down pretty hard by Qs. Sad thing, this is another 60-point drop. It's actually 70 points now from the IB 50. 72 points. Oh, no trade. Are you in Miami? No, I am not. I wish I could show you guys out the window right now. Here, I'll actually... Okay. That is out the window right now. Nothing but white. White and dead trees. Snowed 2 days in a row now. Pros in Canada. I am not in Canada. Canadian minister. Not in Canada. You did some scalping trying to pass your combines. You just keep shorting. Full of diamond. It's freaking Groundhog Day right now. We're right back at 50% of the IB on SPY. Watch it jump all the way back up and take Qs back to 620. Can't freaking buy good price action. Oh, it's fine. The price, I'm not blaming the price action. Just can't buy the two assets lining up with each other. It was really just that opening candle, and that was because of NVIDIA and Avgo. Does Lucid allowing trading MBT? No, it does not. I think Top Step's the only one that has micro. Top Step Live is the only one that has micro Bitcoin. Complete opposite of Alabama. Yeah, after I got off stream yesterday, I ended up snow blowing. Same thing on Tuesday too. We got like 4 inches, maybe a little bit more for both days. So I ended up getting off stream, going right outside, snow blowing the driveway because I wanted to get it melted. It's going to happen all over again. Right back up to the IBI. You better not be trading this, Steve. Go play Fortnite. Four inches is a lot. It's average. We had our first snow that we had was like the one that I got to use the snowblower for was like 18 inches. I have a picture of it. Yeah, it was right up to the top of the snowblower. It was like 18 inches that we got 3 weeks ago. December 24th. It's 2 weeks ago. I wish it snowed in Essex, UK. I can't believe this just happened again. We got another bounce off 50% of the IB. It's going right up to the high on SPY, and that I jokingly said it, but it just took Qs right back up to 620. Once that IB high is taken on SPY, that should be the draw done for the day. Or upside draw done. I cannot believe that just happened again. If I traded every move that I talked about, I'd be a millionaire. It's all practice. It's all practice. So what I'm going to do is I am still going to be targeting an entry all the way at London 50. And then I'm going to target to the IB low if we get up there. And that level is going to be 622.88. Downside 617.77. SPY is about to go and take its high. I can't believe that went and worked again. Want to get a little more upside. SPY is again 9 cents away from breaking the high. It's made a new wick up to 689.92. Should go and take the high right here. 690.02 is what it needs to hit. If Qs ends up getting dragged down again, I swear. Taking that short end of Q might be a bit dangerous since ES is just pumping. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to take it. Either way, you're either saying that SPY is wrong or Q is wrong. You're trying to front run it. I'm going to try it up at 622.83 if it gets there. I'll actually put that order in while we're here in the stream right now. So the high is at, we're going to do an entry. I think London 50 is pretty much right at, London 50 is 773. So I'm going to do a little tiny bit above London 50. And we just put it at London 50. It's going to be another couple of points. So I'm going to do a sell 20 limit there. And then the stop is going to be the IB high. Buy 20 stop, 802. So that's going to be the trade that I'm going to have running, the limit order I'm going to have running anyway. So order placed in at 774, stop placed in at 802. It's going to be a 28 point risk. So $56. That's if it gets up there. If it doesn't get up there, then I'm just going to cancel everything. And short 1 M&Q at 25,774. Stop loss at 25,802. It's a big if on it getting up there, but I think SPY might have enough momentum in it to get up to that previous day's 50, which is all the way up to 691.50. And then if we do end up taking this trade on MNQ, it's going to be, hang on a minute. Let's see what the risk reward is on it. Short position. So our risk is going to be 61 cents on MNQ at QQQ. Our risk reward on this trade is going to be 8.1, 8.2. I'm happy with that. All right, guys, that will do it for the stream today. Another no trade day so far, unless we get all the way up there. Big if. Watching runners hit break even, then running to your TP. Yeah, that is pain. All right, guys, I'll see you later. If you guys did enjoy the stream on YouTube, X, drop a like, drop a follow. I will see all of you next Tuesday. We do not go live on Friday or Monday. That's for Andre and James. I will see you guys next week. Peace out.